Visual Radio Live. Legendary. How many years now? 17 years or something, 16 years, 17. Anyway, the views and opinions on Visual Radio Live are those of the host, Joe Viglione, and his guests, whomever they may be on the phone tonight, and my special guest of Clint Eastwood. He's here with us. And not necessarily those of Winchester Community Access and Media, its board, its staff, its employees, its members, and all the other affiliate stations that broadcast this show, of which there are many, and there will be many more, okay? So, tonight, on Labor Day, which was Monday, the 3rd, today is the 6th, I went to Kitty Connection and videotaped more kitty cats, about 14 of them. And we're going to watch this video that we edited on Tuesday. So it was taped on Monday, edited on Tuesday. These cats are available for adoption. And Anthony, take her away. Hi Maria.
Hi.
We're at Kitty Connection here in Medford, and it's the 3rd day of September, Labor Day. And tell us who the kitties are here. Who do we have in here?
Okay, this is Jade. She's 1 year old. She's a female.
Hi Jade. She's so pretty.
Yes. She just got brought back.
And she's available for adoption.
She is.
And she's a shy kitty, right? So
Not
she
too
is
bad.
TLC, tender loving care?
Yes.
Okay, and who's this beautiful kitty too?
She doesn't have a name yet because she hasn't gone to the vet. We give her a name when we fill out the paperwork out. She is so friendly.
Is she unabandoned?
She was a stray, I believe.
A stray.
A stray?
Beautiful. Oh.
She's so friendly. She'll come and meow for attention.
What a nice kitty. And she's available here at Kitty Connection. Today, again, is September 3rd. So we're going to time and date these videos so people can see the kitties that are here to adopt.
Right.
This is a brand new one. And again, we talked to Jade, and here's Jade again. Hi, Jade.
They're both really young. Not kittens, but still young.
Not kittens, but about a year old.
Yeah.
And who's down here?
Down here is Buddy.
Hi, Buddy.
Super friendly.
Oh, it's Buddy.
You know, anyone looking for 2 cats, we're trying to get him adopted out with Oreo, who's over here.
Oh, so he's from a family with Oreo?
Yep.
And what happened to them?
The lady was too overwhelmed, couldn't take care of them anymore. She had 3, but one of them already got adopted. Spaz got adopted, didn't she?
So what's his name?
This is Oreo.
Oh, so Oreo, they lost one of their friends.
Yeah.
So Oreo and Buddy.
Yep.
How old are they?
They're 2 and a half. And
Oh, they're young.
super friendly.
Wow. And who's this one down here drinking up a storm?
That's Treasure, another young one, 1 year old.
Treasure. Okay, so we've got Treasure here drinking up a storm. Oh, she's beautiful.
She had a litter of 5 kittens, but they all got adopted already.
Wow. Is she going to be spayed?
She's already been spayed.
She's been spayed, okay. Down here, we have this wonderful kitty.
Yep, this is Rocco. He's a little
Rocco.
bit sad and aggressive because his owner died.
Oh, that's so sad. When did that happen?
A couple weeks ago, I would say. Maybe a month.
So how old is he?
He's 5.
5 years old. And was the owner in Medford?
Don't know.
Oh, hi, Rocco. And so down here we have
Smokey Joe.
Hi, Smokey Joe.
He recently came back to us too, and he's still a little bit on the shy side.
Oh, Smokey Joe. He's a cutie. So someone had adopted him.
Yeah, or a foster home, I think.
Oh, he's in a foster home.
Wasn't working out, so we brought him back here.
And who's this one again?
This is Buddy.
Buddy's the friend with Oreo.
Yes.
So Buddy and Oreo. Hi, Buddy. Wow, they're so beautiful. And they are very friendly.
Yep.
Wow, Buddy and Oreo. We need a home for these two, Buddy and Oreo, together.
We have tons of black cats. There's another one back here, Liddy.
Oh, I didn't see Mitty.
Yeah, and he also needs a home. He has 3.5 legs, so not a lot of people are, looking into that.
What's his name?
Mitty.
M-I-D-D-Y.
DDY.
M-I-D-D-Y. Hi, Mitty. So, and who's up in the window?
Hoover's up there.
Hoover.
3-year-old Hoover.
3 years old Hoover. We'll try to get Hoover's picture later.
He's a little bit lazy.
Now, who's coming out of the cage?
This is Kathy. I think she came to us last week. Even less than a week ago.
How old is Kathy?
I'm not sure.
Is she abandoned?
Surrendered.
That's sad. A family surrendered her. It's so sad, Kathy. And who's this beautiful woman?
That's Margot.
Hi, Margot. Now, where'd she come from?
I think she was a stray. Are you a stray?
Oh, she's so pretty. Margot's so pretty.
Who else do we have?
Up top here, he's very...
Okay, yeah, this is Agro. He's a shy kitten. Special person needed for him.
Agro.
He's doing so good. He's still a little bit scared.
Hi, Agro.
Also needs lots of TLC.
And then down here looks like Agro's brother.
Not sure if they're literally. Some of them came from separate areas, but that's Rando.
Rando.
Another shy one.
I can tell. That's Rando.
He's not doing as good as Agro. He's still doing good.
Hi, Kathy.
Look at you.
Hello, Kathy. Kathy's very friendly.
She is.
Anyone else in there?
Yeah, Ariel's in here. He's a shy one as well. He just came in. He was in a foster home. Oh, hi.
Hey, Ariel.
Spirit? Yeah, he's in here. He came in with Spirit, who's in this carrier.
Oh, they're back together now.
Kathy's rubbing up against me. It's hard to videotape. She's so friendly.
She was hissing the first day she got here, and now look at her.
Oh, yeah, she's happy.
And Spirit's inside the carrier she's running on. He has different color eyes. A lot of people like that.
Was she outside? I don't
Spirit's in here, so no one's in here.
There he is in here.
Oh, okay.
And Spirit's in here.
I see.
He's still adjusting. Happy. Hi, Spirit.
Can you get him in the camera good?
Yeah. Are you curious? He has one green eye and one blue eye. Can't tell right now.
Ooh, kitties.
It's the next one over. Yeah. I think
Well, we're going to get you kitties up on YouTube.
Oh, I did a little intro.
Oreo.
Doria.
Dorio.
With a D apostrophe Oreo.
And her friend Buddy. Here. We got Rocco up here. Hi, Rocco. Rocco.
And there we are. That was our documentary, our public service announcement for Kitty Connection, a nonprofit in Medford that does animal rescue. It's a no-kill shelter. And Marie Mazzio used to work with the wonderful Claire Smith of Melrose Humane. We lost Claire last year. Dear, dear friend of mine. A dear friend to the entire cat community. It was a big blow to us to lose Claire. Very big blow. And Marie's carrying on in the tradition. Melrose Humane Society, of which I'm a member, still exists. They're doing fine work there. Another no-kill shelter. Marie Mazzio, a Kitty Connection. Just very important work these people are doing, because these cats could be destroyed, euthanized by the kill shelters. There's just too many animals. And we need to get homes for them. So, pardon me 1 second, we're going to have a phone call in a second. I got to get up. And my co-host Clint Eastwood was suddenly not very talkative. Clint Eastwood is my co-host tonight. See Clint? Hello, Clint. Clint Eastwood. You know what? Hey, Johnny, you can call in now. Because, here's his phone number. Okay, now I remember it. John, did you see the show okay?
Yes, I did.
What did you think of my little documentary?
Yeah, I got it on right now.
Did you see the cats?
Yes, I did.
Did you see your friend?
Yes, I saw my friend.
Didn't she look cute on TV?
Yep.
So we're doing very important work, John. Now, every 2 weeks, every month, I'm going to go to Kitty Connection. And the people at home, you just got a cat today, didn't you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I just did. Her name is Lucy.
What time did you bring her into the house?
The lady came and brought her to me around 2 o'clock.
Oh, so you've had some time to mellow out with her.
Yeah, well, right now she's hiding. She's been hiding out either under my desk or under my sofa. It's going to take a couple of days for her to get used to being in a place like this, because she originally came from being fostered with a woman that had a couple of kids and a couple of other cats that she was fostering. So now she's coming to a different area, a different place that she's not used to yet.
I'm so glad we can do this show. Now, I'm shipping these out to the stations as a public service announcement so that they can run the 8-minute, 20-second show as a PSA.
Right. That's good. I mean, hey. Listen, I have to say, if it weren't for you hooking me up with the Kitty Connection, this other place that I ended up going to wouldn't have even talked to me, because I had done business with the Kitty Connection. I met with all their criteria, and they were able to give me a cat that fits to me.
Well, they have to be very careful who they adopt to. There are people who adopt black cats and then they hurt them.
Yeah, well.
There are people who adopt pit bulls and then they use them for fighting.
Yeah.
So these no-kill shelters are very careful about who they adopt to.
Right.
And they want to know who your vet is and who this is, who that is. So
right.
It's a good thing. It's like adopting a child.
Right.
Did you sign adoption papers?
Actually, no, because, again, I didn't have to sign anything. It started out that I was trying to adopt 2 kittens from a woman a brother and sister from a woman in East Boston, and she needed me to fill out adoption papers. I filled out the adoption paper, but I couldn't figure out how to send it, and there was a phone number on the top of the paper, which I called, and this lady, Jackie, who I ended up speaking to, who brought me the cat today, when I told her that I had dealt with Kitty Connection, she said, no problem, you don't have to fill this paper out. You're already cleared through us because you went through the Kitty Connection.
Wow. Did you vote today?
Yes, I did.
Oh, want to tell us who you voted for?
Romney.
Oh, so you have a Republican ballot.
Well, yeah, but I go back to independent. I took the Republican ballot, but once you take the Republican ballot or the Democratic ballot or the Green Party ballot, whatever the 3 ballots were this time around, you automatically go from, you declare yourself as a Republican, but then you automatically switch back to what you originally signed up as.
I voted for you, John.
Good.
I wrote you in.
Well, I'll tell you, our friends here in Medford are so hurting for programming that you know what they showed today?
No.
The Ziggy Bush show from 9/12/11 when they had myself and Tony D'Antonio on when we were running against McGlynn.
Well, that's something that I'm addressing. I actually was in touch with the Medford police today.
Yeah.
I'm on a rampage. I actually visited the courthouse, Superior Court. I'm on a rampage. I wrote a 3-page letter to the head judge, Judge Barbara Rouse, and I am alerting all the judges that were at these trials for this ridiculous situation going on in Medford, which Bob Penta talked about here on my show.
Right.
Now, people, the wonderful video that WinCam allowed us to videotape, they allowed me to take a beautiful little camera, go to Medford's Kitty Connection, videotape, on the holiday. Then we were closed for the holiday here. Did you know that, John?
Yes, I did. You told me.
We shut down Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but I had taken a camera out because I performed on Saturday night at the Cantab, which is like, you have the Blue Moon and you have me performing. My performances on stage in clubs these days are as rare as a Blue Moon. And it's funny because the day after the Blue Moon I was performing my song Friend, and my song There's Nothing Like a Hit with Annie Activator, a band out of New York.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fun. We got it all on video, and then I had the camera, so I went over to Marie's on Monday. Tuesday I came in here and edited the show, dubbed up DVDs, and this is how we get it out. Now, the fact that Medford is so closed, you can't get in there unless you're on the board of directors. And that's wrong. And I am fighting the good fight to make sure that videos like these cat rescue videos get put on the air. And John, there can't be any excuses. You can't make stuff up about people.
Right.
Like a middle-aged woman who's been on my show was accused of using the F word. And she didn't even know what she was accused of, and she never uses the word. Right. And it wasn't until the lawsuits when I got the discovery and I found out she was accused of something she never did. They make it up. They make Mitt Romney look like he's telling the truth.
Yep.
Speaking of which, John, now I got the Democratic ballot. How many people did you vote for on the Republican side?
I voted for all the offices that were available.
Well, I want you to tell your good friend Margaret over at Somerville Court that I voted for her for the clerk of courts.
Good.
So instead of Michael Sullivan, I put Maggie Weeks.
Very good.
For Ed Markey, I put Anthony D'Antonio.
Wow.
So this is the first time I didn't vote for Ed Markey in my life. First time Ed Markey has failed to get my vote because he has failed to help with the TV station in Medford. So Ed Markey, you're losing my vote, Congressman, and you might not be Congressman because I'm going to lobby for the Republican in the congressional seat.
Nice.
And I'm letting Ed Markey know that. I'm going to lobby, and I'm going to use this TV show to say Ed Markey has stopped helping his constituents out. So until Ed Markey gets the cat rescue program on television in Medford, and people got to know that, under Ed Markey's office is where the TV station is.
Right.
So I'm marching over to Ed Markey's office with a disc, and I'm going to tell Ed Markey, you want my vote, you better earn it. We can't just give these people votes, John.
No.
They have to earn them. All right, so guess who earned my vote for state rep?
Who?
Well, Paul Donato was there, and the first time ever I didn't vote for Paul Donato. I wrote in Mickey Mouse.
Well, yeah, I wrote something like that.
Mickey Mouse is cuter than Paul Donato.
Your name for all that matters.
Well, because I was having fun. I put Gene Martin down for one. I put you down, and Anthony D'Antonio. I voted for Pat Jalen and Elizabeth Warren. So Elizabeth Warren and Pat Jalen got my vote. Did Scott Brown get your vote?
I put in all the incumbents, yeah.
Okay, well, I hate to tell you, Johnny, but I voted for someone you don't like. But I gave you a vote, so you can't be too mad at me.
No.
For counselor, I put Michael J. McGlynn.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I figure if we can get him out of office, he can go have a little job, I thought it'd be funny.
Yeah.
If Ed Finn's counting the votes, he's going to know it's my ballot.
Probably.
It's distinctive. John Byers, Gene Martin, Anthony D'Antonio, Mickey Mouse, Pat Jalen, Elizabeth Warren, Michael McGlynn, and Maggie Weeks.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the positions were.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I voted the incumbents because they're the easiest thing to check off. They're first on the ballot, so boom, 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 right down the list, and then I'm done.
Now, John, did you notice what number you were when you voted? And when did you vote? What time?
Me and my mother voted. I was number 155, and my mother was number 156.
And what time was that?
A little about 2:30.
After you got your kitty?
Yes.
Okay, so I went in around 10:45, and I was number 41.
Well, yeah, that's early in the morning.
So that makes sense. So very light turnout for the primaries, which don't mean much.
No, but the question is now, this was good weather. Will the turnout be good for the primary depending on the weather, or will we have a garbage turnout and end up with another 4 years of Obama.
We're going to have another 4 years of Obama, John. I try to explain this to you. Obama helps guys like you. Romney does not. But the speech from Bill Clinton last night, did you hear what the Republican strategist said?
I saw it, yeah.
Game, set, and match. They said Bill Clinton just won it. You don't even have to have the rest of the convention. That speech by Bill Clinton, the third longest speech of his career, that was amazing. Because he did what the Republicans didn't do, John. He gave the facts and figures, and he framed it. The Republican Party worked with him. They wouldn't work with Obama. Obama's a great man. And like Bill Clinton said, Michelle Obama.
Well, we'll have to wait and see now. November is right around the corner, and we'll see what the electorate says.
What I don't like is that the Republicans are trying to limit the votes and stop people from voting. They're trying to shut Ohio votes down 3 days before the election.
I think the one thing that bothered me about the convention last night was the dumb idiots there didn't even know when their candidate went over that they had 2,777 delegates to be nominated as a presidential candidate for the Democrats.
Sure they did. They suspended the rules and had Ohio go ahead of, what, Minnesota?
Yeah, but here's the thing. When Ohio put them over, they didn't even announce we're over the top. They had some type of a technical glitch, and then they announced the next group, and then all of a sudden someone said, no, we went over the top. I mean,
well, John, that's such a minor glitch, and you know what? No one's watching at that point.
Oh, I know that. I wanted to see how, and he ended up again, even after he went over the top, they kept the vote going where the Republicans, after Romney went over the top, they suspended the rest of the vote because it really wasn't necessary, and he ended up getting like 5,500 plus delegates.
Well, the thing is that, Obama's going to speak tonight.
Yeah.
And we had James Taylor's going to sing tonight.
He already sang.
Did in Carolina on My Mind, right?
Yep, of course, yep.
To bring him out for a convention, that's pretty good. And notice that there was no Clint Eastwood moment, but do you see Clint on my show here?
Yes, I do.
It's Clint. I love Clint. I say what President Obama said. Clint Eastwood's a great film director, a great movie maker. I think that he was helping Obama out, to tell you the truth. I think he took a lot away from...
To go to the Republican side and do that, considering Hollywood is supposed to be staunch.
Yeah, but he was silly. They didn't know his script, and he was silly, and it got people talking about him and not the election.
Well, also he's got a movie coming out too, so I mean.
Yeah, there you go. It's all about making money.
So it works because on the commercial breaks during the convention, you're seeing promos for the movie, so why not the last night of the convention have one of the stars of the movie show up, who also directed the movie as well, and do that little tongue-in-cheek thing with Obama.
Now, John, do you go on madeinmedford.com?
Not really. I haven't even done that yet. I've been so busy with this cat mess that I've been dealing with, and I've been busy with the Red Sox and stuff that I don't get on the internet that much, and when I do, it's basically for my sports or for the last several days trying to find a cat for myself.
Well, what was I talking about before you mentioned baseball? Made in Medford. Okay, so madeinmedford.com. If people go there, I think it's recreation. I have Ernie and the Automatics, members of the band Boston. They played right here in Manchester Field in Winchester 2 years ago. I videotaped them. You can see great interviews with Ernie and the Automatics.
Yeah.
I'm really beefing up the Made in Medford site. I now know how to work it a lot more efficiently. They've been helping me very much.
Yeah.
But, John, here's something very disturbing. I went to Channel 1 today. There is no public access on demand. Not even McGlynn.
Well, it's good, but it isn't good. It's good because you're not monopolizing, or the mayor is not monopolizing the airwaves, but it's bad because it's an empty station.
Now, for those of you in Winchester, this is important because it's not the greatest news for public access fans. Comcast is coming in with a new thing called Project Open Voice. we assumed, because they were implying that it would be on demand. It's turning out to be just a glorified YouTube site.
Right.
Now, we'll take what we can get these days, but our mayor in Medford, McGlynn, is taking advantage of every aspect of public access. Financially, the airtime on Channel 3, the airtime on the on-demand. Now, he's off for this month, but there's nothing up there. There's a Latino channel, local, and there's a Get Local, but it's mostly NECN and a lot of the local Comcast channels.
Yeah.
So, we're not getting what we were promised. And even more disturbing, John, we're off of the Project Open Voice front page. Medford has been pulled out. So there's 5 cities.
Oh, you don't think that the mayor had something to do with that?
I think the mayor upset Comcast. I think he made so many demands on them, they said, okay, McGlynn, here you go.
You were pulling you off.
Yeah. Unless they
That's what I wanted to say.
Well, you know,
I can say this much. They bitch slapped McGlynn.
well, it might be another thing, John. They might have said to him, why is Joe Viglione's show not being broadcast? And McGlynn might have had a problem with this show. This show did bounce as Uncle Gene, thanks to you and me.
Yep.
There's a Medford Housing Authority scandal, and the mayor's uncle was on the board of directors, and this show got him bounced.
Right.
You can see that on madeofmedford.com. So that might have got McGlynn a little upset that I'm putting that video up there, right?
Yep.
That could very well be the reason why they're pulling it down. They have to play me. They can't censor me too.
Right.
So all of a sudden,
The only way the mayor can get them to censor you is to have the whole thing pulled down.
it pretty much has been.
Correct. So I mean, he's basically succeeded. What they can't do legally, he's found a way to do illegally.
That's a harsh word, but since he's mayor, I'll let it slide. The views and opinions on Visual Radio Live are those of the guests, the host, and not necessarily those of the WinCam Board of Directors, station management, staff, members, and guests. Right? Right. I got that one down, don't I? So, yeah, I'm going to invite Ed Markey on the show.
Good luck.
Let's see if Marquis de Marquis wants to be on and fill the empty chair that Clint Eastwood left us.
Right.
What would you ask Marquis?
Well, I'd like to ask him who would be a great mayor for the city of Medford right now. Would you think about coming back and running just to give us a change and get rid of this guy who runs the city like a fiefdom?
John, that's brilliant. You would ask Ed Markey to be mayor. He'd have to move to Medford from Malden.
What?
He lives in Malden.
Yeah.
And he actually lives in Washington, D.C.
But he has his office in Medford, so I mean...
He has an office in Framingham.
Okay.
But yeah, he lives in Malden. He could, I see him at the Dunkin' Donuts in Haines Square. Hey, there's a Haines Square Day in October.
About my one conversation with Ed Markey a while back. I don't know. Basically, when they used to have the senior picnic down in the Medford Square for a couple of weeks before Election Day, I was running one year, and I was there to hobnob with the voters. And I saw Markey, and I mentioned to him about there was a flaw in their must-carry rule and the rating system that they have on the TV. And he said, "What is that?" And I said, "Wow, the big flaw is that when there's a show on cable that's rated with a certain rating, and then it shows up on a regular over-the-air station, that rating does not get stuck on the regular over-the-air station. The regular over-the-air station is allowed to switch the rating to a much lesser rating to get a bigger audience, and that's mostly for kids shows. So a show that may be rated like TV-wise 7, which would be no one under the age of 7 can watch the show if it's on cable. On regular over-the-air TV, it would be rated TVG, which is general audiences. So little Johnny, who can't watch the show say on the Cartoon Network, because he's not 7 years old, can just wait till the weekend and watch it on Channel 38 at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning.
Well, little Johnny wants to watch it when he wants to watch it, not just on Saturday morning.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, and so with that, after that was done, and I saw Mark in on it a month later, there was a press conference announcing the fact that the rating system was being revised, and now, to this date, what has happened is whenever there's a show that moves from cable to regular over-the-air TV, the rating that was on when it was on cable still is on when it goes to regular over-the-air TV. So if it's a TV-wide 7 show or a TV MA show, then it stays as TV MA when it goes on to cable. I mean regular TV.
Well, this is an open invitation to Ed Markey, and I'll be sending this video to his office.
And I know
Open invitation to Ed Markey, John, to be on Visual Radio Live some Thursday night to talk about why he should be congressman again. I think he deserves some term limits.
Right.
And he can come on here and tell us why he deserves to be congressman again when in 10 years he has not helped the community with the Medford community cablevision problem right underneath his office.
Yeah. I know we didn't get to talk much sports, but the big news of the week has been the Bobby Valentine blow-up the other day on the radio with Glenn Ordway, and the fact that he threatened to punch him out. So, I mean...
He was being funny. He was being funny, but Valentine's history.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
You know why? Because he didn't handle Grace under pressure. He didn't handle it right.
No. He thought he was going to come in and do it his way with an established team, and it didn't work out. They ended up going into the tank, and everyone is asking today, what was the sense of John Henry going out to the West Coast on what he liked to call a fact-finding mission if he didn't find out the facts that he was looking for?
1 and 8 is pretty hard facts.
What?
1 and 8 is hard facts.
Yeah, well, we don't know what the other facts that the mission was that he was, because people...
They won 1 game out of 9. That's facts.
Oh, I know that.
It was a pitiful experience.
He has yet to tell us what his fact-finding mission is, and if basically we now know that they're going to stay with Bobby V for the rest of the season, and then he's probably done after the season, although I think if Toronto comes in here, and this is why, now you're going to be shocked at this, and I'm a big Red Sox fan, but I'm rooting for them to keep on losing.
I know you are. You were happy with 1 and 8. You wanted 0 and 9.
Well, because that would have probably made it even more needed for them to remove Valentine. With John Farrell coming in tomorrow, who's on their short list to be the next manager. If his team comes in and sweeps the Red Sox, all of a sudden you're going to hear...
You know, John, he's in the basement. Toronto's in the basement, right?
Right.
Okay. I'm sorry, this whole John Farrell thing, I'm sorry. No, I'm not interested in John Farrell. Okay, now...
Our pitchers respect him, that's the thing.
You know what? Our pitchers respected Kerrigan, and they ruined him. They ruined that racehorse. Kerrigan was a great pitcher's manager, wasn't he? He was great in the bullpen, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was dynamic, and he was a terrible manager. They should have kept him taking care of the pitchers. That's my thought on it. I will say this.
The only other thought I have is now, this year there's a couple of managers that are going to be available.
Now, John, I have a point to make.
Oh, sorry.
My point to make is this. The Yankees are in a free fall.
Oh, yeah.
The Red Sox could have won 6 games. 6 games they could have won. If they were 6 and 4, we would have been in the running, okay? 6 and 4.
Yeah.
Not 1 and 9, but they blew it. At the time when that young team should have really got it together. If I were manager, I know it's easy to talk from the outside looking in. If I were manager, well, heck, look what I'm managing this whole public access fight.
Yeah.
10 years. So people know as a manager, I fight hard. I do not give up. And John, we are going to have our access station in Medford. Mark my words.
Yeah.
I am not backing down.
Yeah.
It is time for TV3 to clean its house. It's time for term limits. It is time for a new access station in Medford. I intend to lead that fight. September 18th, I'll be speaking at the City Council. I want to know why Mayor McGlynn spent $14,000 on an audit and a judge's recommendations and stuffed it in a drawer. You know, John, 14 grand, I could do a lot with that money.
Oh,
Couldn't
we
you?
know that.
What could you do with 14 grand?
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm going to let every resident know that 14 grand is school books for your child. It's food on the table. This mayor is like a drunken sailor.
A couple of brand new computers for the schools, maybe even a couple of brand new desks rather than piecemeal and buy second-hand and used stuff.
Because you have a good point there, John. What else is he spending monies on that we don't know about? I only know about this because I'm in the battle.
And the fact of the matter is this. It's his school with his namesake on it, his name, that is asking for these upgrades. And
The McGlynn School. He says it's after his father. How arrogant. It's his name. It's all about him. It's all about him. Okay, we're going to be more political in the coming weeks because it's election time and I'm all fired up, people. We are going to have a new access station in Medford. Okay? It is time that inexperienced and unqualified people left. It is time that we got qualified, experienced people, and that we did outreach to the entire community. I don't want to hear lies about a middle-aged woman who's a friend of mine using naughty words that she never used. Okay, I don't want to hear this stuff. It's a new dawn. It is a new dawn in Medford.
yeah, I will tell you this in ending. You think it's bad for the Yankees? Tonight in Baltimore, they unveiled the new Calvin statue, which is out in front of the ballpark, and then the Orioles broke out to a 5-0 lead, and right now in the fourth inning, it's 5-1 Baltimore.
Well, the Yankees have older players. Johnny, it's a pleasure. We haven't got to talk in a few weeks. Thanks for co-hosting the show tonight.
Yep.
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
That's John Byers, one of our co-hosts, our sports host, but it's political time. It's election time, okay? And today I'm very, very fired up. Very fired up. We're going to have a new access television station in Medford. This is going on made in Medford. And I want every resident in Medford to look at their cable bill, look at the $187,000 we're spending, and show us how that money is spent, okay? I'm all fired up, and it's time. It's time that we bring in a new access television station, and I'm willing to put it together. I'm willing to build that foundation. And you see what a great job we do here in Winchester. Homeless Animal Show, now we're going to do a public domain movie. Tomorrow night we have The Fast and the Furious, the original one. And let's try the phone number again. Okay, busy. We're going to try it again, people. It is the 6th of September, voting day, primary day.
We're sorry, your call.
Okay, why is there a problem tonight? I know why. I know why there's a problem. I bet you have it in the wrong. Okay, sorry people. Hey. Well, that one doesn't work either. Let's try this one. Here we go. There we go. Sorry about that, people. It's only live television.
We're sorry. Your call could not be completed at this time. Please try again.
Okay. Houston, we have a problem. So, anyways, I'm all fired up about this stuff. It's a political season. It's going through my cell phone. Frank, can you call me back on the line? Do you know it? Yeah, I've been trying to call you and it's not been letting me through. 721-0137. Thanks. Bye. Frank Dello Stritto, we have ways around this. That's why I bring my cell phone. My battery is almost out of juice. I forgot to charge it up today. And wait a minute, wait, where's my little, I had photos of kitty cats on here. But because I downloaded them, they're not on the phone anymore. Hello, Frank.
Hello, Joe. I guess it's one of those nights nothing's going right for you.
No, things are going fine.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
If you were watching, I'm all fired up about politics.
Okay.
I voted for Mickey Mouse today. Does that... There's a primary today in Massachusetts. Do you have a primary?
Texas has a, let's see, do we have our primary? Texas primary usually comes, no, well, of course we had our primary because the convention's over. Yeah, we had our primary, but the Texas primary comes so late, we are never in the running. It never matters for us because it's usually decided. Except the one, I've been living in Texas for 30 years, and the primary always didn't matter because they had already, the winner had already won enough delegates before our primary. Except in 2008, when Obama and Hillary were going at it, and I would have loved to be here because I've never been in the middle of a hotly contested convention, but my company had transferred me to Indonesia, so I was living in Indonesia and I missed all that.
I did not know that. How long were you in Indonesia?
I was in Indonesia for 3 years, and I loved it.
Wow.
It's the last, our company sends us a lot of exotic places, but most of them have become pretty unsafe. So you don't have the freedom of movement that you'd like to have, but Indonesia is exotic, and I can truthfully say I never felt a threat there. We went all over the place and really enjoyed ourselves, because downside of Indonesia is it takes, door to door, it takes about 30 hours to get there. And when we did that a couple of times, I said to my wife, I said, listen, I'm never coming back to this part of the world on vacation because it's not my idea of a vacation to travel more than 24 hours to get where I'm going.
That's true. Now, did your kids visit you over there?
They visited once and they loved it. I took them, believe it or not, I took them a lot of places, and I took them to Krakatoa.
Krakatoa, east of Java.
Actually, it's west of Java. Why they ever said it was east of Java, I don't know.
Well, maybe if you're sitting on the other side of it.
Well, maybe they looked in the wrong direction. I guess if you go around the world long enough, it is east of Java. But if you're in Java and you go west about 10 miles, you're right on Krakatoa. Anyway, while we were there, it rumbled. So and some rocks came rolling down a hill, so that was exciting.
Oh, Mick Jagger and Keith? No.
Yeah.
Rolling Stones will gather no moss. Hey, he's quick tonight. Krakatoa, east of Java. What year was that movie?
You always ask me questions. My guess is around 1970, but I don't know.
My guess too, and I think we're right in the ballpark there.
Okay.
It had a nice. I remember it had a nice ad of a volcano blowing up or something.
Yeah, well, that's without that, you don't have much of a movie.
That's right.
I think, as I recall, it was some drama between divers and people up to no good and people trying to stop them, and then right in the middle of the earthquake comes. This is, what do you think of that? So who's born?
Well, it's such a great word, Krakatoa. Should have been a rock band.
Yeah. Well, Joe, go out and form one.
I played Saturday night.
Okay. What instrument do you play?
I'm a singer.
Oh, what do you sing?
I sing my songs.
Okay.
Songs from like 1985 that I wrote 3 lifetimes ago.
Okay.
My guitar player, Danny, from 1980, 79, 80, is in a band in New York called Annie Activator. So Danny and Annie and Paul and the new bass player, Ethan, backed me up. Annie's name is Adrian.
How often do you sing? How many gigs do you have a year?
How many blue moons are there? It was the night after the blue moon.
Okay.
I usually play once a year. I did 2 this year.
Okay.
Both with Annie Activator.
All right.
And even though I go to the gym and I have a personal trainer, I was out of breath after the first song.
You don't, do you?
Huh?
You don't smoke, do you?
Don't smoke, don't drink. I drink iced tea, and I go to the gym. But at 58, I can't do what I did at 48.
Okay, yeah.
Which is, the first song, nothing like a hit. It's dynamic, and I'm running around the stage. In the old days, Frank, I used to climb through the ceiling at the nightclub, so it was a very visual show.
Climb to the ceiling, just like The Fly. Just like Jeff Goldblum and The Fly, I bet.
Well, I won't belabor the point, but the thing is, it's like, even at 58, when I got off the stage, someone said to me, all the eyes in the room were glued on you. So, you know, you don't have to be young to actually command a stage, I guess.
No, I mean, once you're up there, the adrenaline starts pumping, but you're right, when you're older and the adrenaline backs off a little bit, you really feel it. I know the feeling well.
I mean, Danny used to live with me. He should know. He should have put "Friend" first, the folky song, and then he hits me with the show closer, you know. But it was great. It was great. They were great. It was great to be back with him. He's such a brilliant guitarist, and thank you for asking.
Well, I hope I'm up there the next time there's a blue moon, so I can see you the next night.
Oh, I'll haul the 12-string out and go MC a show. If it's Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, we can just walk into the Club Bohemia and I can MC.
All right.
Because I do their website.
God bless you. You do websites?
Well, I just update their blog.
Okay.
Anyway, the Fast and the Furious, 1939, was this the influential movie that gave birth to these new ones?
No. Actually, it is. It's not. It's Fast and Furious. No, the. It cannot to be confused with the Vin Diesel franchise. Not to be confused with the movie from the 50s, The Fast and the Furious. This is just Fast and Furious. And no, it has no relation to those. It's a kind of a light comedy, I guess. It's a murder mystery in the middle of it. And literally in the middle of it, you have to watch quite a while before the murder occurs. And there were actually 3 movies made with the same lead characters, who are Joel and Garda Sloan, who are rare book dealers by day, but every time they go on vacation or take a free moment, it seems a murder falls in their lap and they go out and solve it. And in the late 30s, there were three movies made, and all by the same studio, but to my amazement, they always used different actors and actresses to play the leads. And, you know, when you try to develop a series, you want to use the same actors over and over again to get the identification, so the buzz from one film carries over to the next. And that didn't happen, and it was only less than 2 years they made the 3 movies, 1938 and 2 in 1939. And this was the last of them, but always with 3 different actors and actresses in the lead roles. So,
Whoa.
And then the series died.
They should have made it a TV show, but they didn't have TV.
That's true. So there was Fast Company was the first one, then Fast and Loose was the second one, and Fast and Furious was the third one, and then that was the end of it.
So wasn't Fast Company a magazine of the 80s, 90s? Some computer magazine, Fast Company. Maybe I'm wrong.
You might know better than I.
Okay.
I never read a computer magazine.
Neither do I. I just try to stumble through a computer without reading.
There's 2 names to watch in this movie. Busby Berkeley was the director. You know who Busby Berkeley was?
No.
Okay. Well, if you go back to the 30s, there were these really flashy musicals coming out of Warner Brothers, kind of gritty, like all the Warner Brothers stuff was blue collar, had a lot of blue collar appeal. And there were movies like 42nd Street and Dames and Gold Diggers. There was a Gold Diggers at 33, not Gold Diggers 35, Gold Diggers at 37. They had a whole series of them. And Busby Berkeley was the mastermind behind them. He was always the choreographer and often the director of these things. And they were flashy. And when you think of the endless sea of chorus singers and the camera moving around, and he was the master of choreography combined with fluid camera work.
What an exciting time to make films.
Yeah, and but he made a few non-musicals here and there. And one of them was a gritty crime drama. I didn't know this till I looked them up today. They Made Me a Criminal, which has John Garfield in the typical John Garfield role of this down-and-out guy from the bad side of the tracks who's never got a even break. And then he made this movie, which is a comedy, and it's rather light, but it has none of the musical flair that he was doing. And I didn't know this till I started preparing for this show, is that Busby Berkeley actually did the choreography on Wizard of Oz.
Oh.
So when those guys are marching down the yellow brick road, they're marching to steps that he prepared for them. And everybody's seen that movie, and that gives you a good hint of the fluid camera work. Because think back to that shot as Judy Garland starts to go down the yellow brick road. The camera is really moving around with him, and that was his trademark. And I would say at this time in Hollywood, the 2 directors that are really willing to move those cameras around as much as they could are Busby Berkeley and Alfred Hitchcock. Alfred Hitchcock setting was kind of gloomy and all that, but he would always have his camera moving, looking around corners and all that. And the same with Busby Berkeley, but there would usually be people singing and dancing in front of it.
Well, you know what you bring up here is a very important point, because Wizard of Oz is such a classic, and now we realize from what you're telling us that you had these masters who, they probably had a number of different people well experienced in these arts, and you put it all together and you have a masterpiece.
That's right. Well, of course, the big studios then were basically factories.
Yeah.
And they were there to churn out movies that would keep their theaters filled. And the studios and the theaters were owned by the same conglomerates until the Supreme Court decision broke them up in the late 40s. So that, an exhibitionist, well, whatever, an exhibitor, that's the word I'm looking for. An exhibitor couldn't make the movies because that was considered antitrust. But these were factories, but every now and then, every studio, they got so they had these big reservoirs of talent, usually spread over a lot of productions. But when they coalesced in the right place in the right way, something really special popped out, and that's what happened with Wizard of Oz. You look at that film, and you just go, wow, what an achievement.
So, the cable provider Comcast buys NBC Universal so that the cable provider owns content. It's the same thing as having the theater and the film studio.
All right, well, Joey, you were born to plead a case before the Supreme Court.
I was, thank you very much.
The lead actor is Franchot Tone, and the lead actress is Ann Sothern, and Ann Sothern, I think, in this movie is just beautiful. And she never got a good break in the movies until right after this. Right before this movie, she was in kind of a humdrum, something that should have been a humdrum drama called Maisie. And that was the role that was waiting for her, kind of this former burlesque girl who gets in different adventures. And that was a hit, and that became a whole series of films for her. And then you and I don't know if you're old enough to remember her as Susie.
I certainly remember the name.
Yeah, she was Susie McNamara in a series that began as called Confidential Secretary or Private Secretary, but became the Ann Sothern Show. And that was in the 50s, of course, but she might have been an actress who was too good looking for her own good. She was in her 20s and 30s. She was just so beautiful that they probably didn't take her seriously when it came to weighty parts. But and she does well in this movie. It was light comedy. And agreed with her. And if you remember the TV show, and apparently you just barely remember it, because I think if you were a few years older, you'd have good memories of it. But I think that was the reruns were about wrapping up by about the time that you would have been watching them.
No, and tomorrow night is Friday night, the 7th of September at 9 o'clock is Fast and Furious with Ann Sothern. Yep, and we've got 2 minutes left.
Oh, 2 minutes? Oh, yeah, you and I have been talking a lot tonight.
No, this is good. We've been talking a lot about Fast and Furious.
Okay.
1939, and it's the last of 3 movies in a series, correct?
Last of 3 movies. If you can ever find the first 2, God bless you, because I had trouble finding this one. But if you come up with the first 2 ever, I don't know why it's in the public domain. It's MGM, and you've had a few MGM movies in your lineup, and I think sometimes there's just so many movies out there, people forget to renew the copyrights, and they fell in the public domain. So I don't know what this is doing out there.
Fast Company, and what's the second one?
Okay, the first one was Fast Company, the second one was Fast and Loose, and the one you're showing tomorrow night is Fast and Furious.
That's correct.
And this is MGM. Busby Berkeley had done his main work in the 30s at Warner Brothers, but now he's moved over to MGM, where he's made this movie, but he'll soon be making a lot of the Mickey, Rooney, Judy Garland musicals from the 40s are Busby Berkeley movies. And again, I think you see less of the fluid camera work in that because they are trying to focus on the 2 big stars. Garland and Rooney were A, a top team, and B, individually they were top stars. But if you think of the musical numbers in movies like Babes in Arms and Babes on Broadway, the camera's always moving around, and that's a Busby Berkeley trademark. So watch this movie, enjoy it, and there's a master making the movie who is not in his usual genre. He should be out making musicals, but he every now and then did something different like this one.
35 seconds left. Next week we're going to have The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
I was so glad when you sent me that. you know, I've seen it many times, but I don't think I've seen it in 10 years because I had no real reason to watch it. And now I'm going to pull it out and renew those old memories.
Is it Joseph Wise?
Joseph, no, it's Robert,
Right.
Kevin no, Joseph Wise? Who's
No,
Joseph?
it's someone. I don't know.
Oh, no, Robert Ween. You think
Robert
Ween,
Ween.
the director.
Thanks, Frank. We gotta go.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. Views and opinions on visual radio are mine.
These recordings were made in